Yes, the stakes are pretty high, but I'll tell you, Matty Holland, what fans are saying. Fans are saying Ronaldo 4, Messi nil, count the penalty, it's Messi -1. That's how they're looking at it.
Yeah, this debate is never going to end until
he scores the penalty.
Yeah. The debate will never end between the two, but it's a fascinating spectacle to see Ronaldo come out of the blocks. And it's up to Messi now to do a little bit as he's done at club level.
Yes, but what he does for club level is score a lot of goals, drags his team. He's got a great selection of players around him. What we can tell you is we've got the lineups for this match and a lot of changes. Maddie, we'll talk over this. Caballero Mercado comes in. Otamendi stays. It's a back three. This is according to the FIFA website. A few changes. Salvio played behind last time. Mascherano stays. Perez comes in. Acuna comes in. Meza played the last game. Messi played. Aguero played as well. But 3 changes. He's made 3 changes. What do you think about this?
I'm quite surprised.
Is he feeling the pressure? Feeling the pressure?
Maybe. I mean, it's a big change systematically. I think obviously, they need to find a way to help Messi carry the team through. In the shape that they've got, I actually did feel that possibly some players were playing a slightly different position. But it'll certainly be interesting to see this game. I don't think it's the strongest lineup they could have gone with.
Yeah, but will it get the job done? Because they threw the kitchen sink against Iceland, but they couldn't get a way through, and then Messi missed that penalty. The team obviously down. If you're the coach, you're the manager, how do you get this team to believe in themselves once again, especially when he's made so many changes?
Well, Sampaoli's a coach that has done it in other jobs. I mean, I don't think potentially Argentina's a bigger job maybe than the Chile job, and Sevilla job obviously is club football, but he's a motivator, he's a top coach. Messi, again, he's not easy to manage. He's the fulcrum of the team. Everything has to revolve around him. I think you saw his frustrations. He was dictating to players, in the game. And he's obviously feeling it a little bit.
There's a fantastic article I read this morning, and it compares Messi to the solar system and how the other 9 players revolve around him, especially the outfield players. And that just shows that that's the biggest problem. Can you just tell me, he's got people like Dybala, Higuain, Kun Aguero, Di Maria, but every coach in a sense has to pander to Messi's wishes or else all hell breaks loose. Yeah,
well, if you... Now in this team, especially the first game, he was playing in that central number 10 position within the lineup that they put out. But I mean, a lot of his success in recent years at Barca had come from the wide area of that 3, and he gets to roam inside, etc. So what do? He obviously wants to play bang in the middle. You've got players that also can play there that could probably help the team. I mean, Di Maria did nothing for me in the first game. So they're going to have to find a way, whether it's him dragging them through or the others coming through with him also.
I'm going to point to an interesting stat, perhaps just showcases why Argentina have struggled in the last 5 or 6 years. And, Maddie, there's just one outfield player in this entire World Cup after the opening round of fixtures who has run less than all the other players in any team. Any guesses who that is?
Leo Messi.
Even two goalkeepers, Maddie, have had more distances clocked than he has, with or without the ball. That's a telling comment, and that just shows why this is not a team. This is all about one man. You can just, when you have your tactical board, remove everyone else, just have him and have him play football.
Well, I mean, the thing is now with statistics is that the statistics are, you're talking about distances covered. Possession was a big one, for a long time, but teams were still losing even though they dictated possession. So, what's important is with those meterage, without getting too technical, is what they do with those meterage. So if they play in a high intensity pressing game, those meters need to be at higher speeds. Of course, he's not covering the meters, but maybe when he does get on the ball, he's trying to drive at people with the ball in the first game, maybe to try and create something.
Is he trying too hard? When I look at the players around him, is he trying too hard? Do you think, before we get into the tactical bits, you think he's trying too hard? And by doing that, he's floating up in positions here and there, and that just leaves the team all over the place.
I don't think he's trying too hard. I don't think he's got enough quality around him that he should do. I mean, we looked at the lineups. Mascherano will play tonight. For a long time, Mascherano's been playing in a back 3. He's been playing as a centre-back, and now you go into a World Cup aging. He's playing in midfield. Enzo Perez is also another player playing tonight. He's aging also in midfield. So, is he trying too hard? No, but potentially the expectation on him to try and do something is more because the others maybe can't do that.
Argentina didn't have space against Iceland, but looking at Croatia, the way they play their opening game, you think they are going to get a lot of space. How does Argentina and Sampaoli and Messi, how do they exploit that space which will be created, especially with the way Rakitic and Modric play? They're going to have those runs as well.
Yeah, well, potentially what you'll get is you'll get Modric and Rakitic in this midfield, but we've had the feedback that maybe Modric will play number 10 tonight. You know, that gives him a different perspective. Potentially another defensive midfielder will go in there just to shut up and shore up a little bit this threat maybe of a slight change in system from Sampaoli.
But is there something which Croatia can exploit? Because what we do know that both Modric and Rakitic, great passers of the ball. They have the likes of Perisic who can actually drag a player out. And then you have the runners coming through, especially how we saw Christian Eriksen in the first game.
Well, for me personally, you know, in terms of exploiting, you know, by playing with a back three, naturally you're always going to get a little bit of space in these areas, just left and right of the outside centre-backs. So, you know, there's going to be space. In this 3-4-3 system, it's complex, it's not easy. You've got Aguero, Messi up top with Meza also, so they are not going to really, I don't think they're going to do a great deal of defensive work. So Croatia are a good side. They've got top players, you know, top players. They've got goals in them also. Of course, they play a 4-2-3-1 system. I know quite a lot about Zlatko Dalic. I spent 4 days at Alain when he was a club coach there, so he's quite rigid in the way that he is. I'm sure that he will give Modric a lot of freedom like he did with a player like Omar Abdulrahman. So I'm sure that Modric will try and pick these off, especially for the wide players to join in and try and create things in behind.
Okay, if that happens, we're going to have a cracker on our hands, and I think it's time we see Argentina in all their glory.